that report, calling it complete fiction, saying Don McGahn was a strong witness for the president. Joining me now is Democratic Representative from Tennessee, Steve Cohen. I appreciate your time today, and I'd like to ask your reaction to this reporting and the response to it.
Don McGahn is trying to save himself because Trump would throw him to the fishes if he could, and I believe that it'll cause more paranoia in the White House than there even is now, and the man will be just off his rocker because he won't know whether to trust McGahn or not, and he doesn't trust people he should trust. So it's just more of the chaos and mental instability that we're seeing in 1600 Pennsylvania. I would have to think his golf game is terrible.
Okay, let's turn now. I want to talk about what's happening at the other end of Pennsylvania Avenue. The Democratic House leader, Nancy Pelosi. There's been talk that she might be under threat from her own party right now. The New York Times has written that Ms. Pelosi is facing unrest from older lawmakers critical of her style, younger Democrats demanding generational change, and candidates across the party who have sought to inoculate themselves against Republican attacks by distancing themselves from her. So I guess the first question to you, if Democrats take back the House in 2018, will you support Nancy Pelosi as Speaker?
We are in the midst of the greatest threat to democracy in the history of this country. We have a president who I feel confident will be proven to have committed unconstitutional, unlawful, impeachable acts. We need to have the strongest and best united Democratic Party. We don't need to be fighting within ourselves. We need to be working to take the House back and to prove that it's necessary to have a check and balance on Donald Trump and to support Democratic candidates against Republicans and have people that will be that check and balance to block and balance the irrational and illegal actions of Donald Trump.
You use the word balance here. If you look at the congressional leadership, you have several people who are older, obviously. Nancy Pelosi, 78 years old, Chuck Schumer, 68 years old, Dick Durbin, 73. I sort of wonder if that's an asset, a liability, if there's not enough balance in the leadership, if you don't have a younger generation holding positions of authority, trying to sort of balance how the party is working around the country.
You know, that may be the case. It may be the case in 2020. In 2018, if we take back the House, we're going to want the strongest, most experienced, best tactician there is in charge of the Democratic House. The Senate will likely not be Democratic. We'll have one House that's Democratic to stand up to Donald Trump, who will still be President of the United States. When you go into the seventh game against the Warriors, you want LeBron James to be on the team and to get the ball. When you get a big game in baseball, you want Max Scherzer on the mound. And when you have somebody to stand up to the most corrupt president, the most bullying president that we've ever had, and fight to keep health care, fight to create jobs, and fight to end the culture of corruption that he has created in Washington, you want Nancy Pelosi. She's a proven leader. She's a star. She doesn't back up to anybody. The Republicans and the people who vote for Democratic candidates are going to want a leader to be a check and balance on Donald Trump. You don't put a rookie in the big game in the World Series or the seventh game of the NBA. You go with a pro who's been there and delivered.
What do you say to someone who says you don't necessarily need a pro to go up against the president at this point? You need a bulldog, somebody who's going to be banging down the door at the White House, and that's not something that a lot of people feel like they're seeing coming from Democrats in the House at this point. Is there enough aggression against the president coming from leadership to be able to get things done, to see some sort of impact on the president's actions and policies?
Nancy Pelosi is a skilled tactician. She has a what is it, the steel hand and the silk glove. I would never call her a bully, but she'll stand up to Donald Trump. She won't back down, and she knows any game he plays. She's been there. She's been a speaker with a Republican president, and she succeeded, and she passed legislation, historic legislation. She's probably the best speaker to serve in the House of Representatives since Sam Rayburn, and maybe beyond that. The fact that she's a woman and she's effective is why the Republicans have made her an issue. Some of our newer candidates who are getting elected are timid. They want to be elected, and I understand that. They don't know the great job she's done. They don't realize the depth of experience that she brings to the table. That is a resource that one should value and not think about casting aside.
So very quickly, I just want to ask you, if Democrats are not able to take back the House this year, should Nancy Pelosi step down?
I'm not sure if we shouldn't all step down. If we don't take back the House, the country's gone.
All right. Congressman Steve Cohen from Tennessee, we appreciate your time today, sir. Thank you.
Not a very positive thought, but reality. We have to check and balance this maniac.
And we will leave it there, sir. Thank you again.